Hey everybody, welcome to Hearing God in First John chapter 2. And today's verse is particularly relevant for me. I'll tell you why in just a moment, but it was actually a word of needed encouragement. And so let me share with you the verse that I highlighted. It is verse 24, where the Apostle John writes to his readers. He says, "Let what you heard from the beginning abide in you. If what you heard from the beginning abides in you, then you too will abide in the Son and in the Father." And so John spends a lot of time connecting in this chapter obedience to God's commands with having a right relationship with God. If we love God, we will be obedient to his commands. We cannot have a right relationship with God if we are not seeking to be obedient to his commandments. And here in verse 24, John reminds us that God's commands are from the beginning and they are unchanging. These are not things that are fluid. They don't change from one cultural context to another. God's commands are consistent. They are from the beginning. Let what you heard from the beginning abide in you. So we must not change God's timeless truths. And so that's the explanation. The A or application section for me today is it's especially relevant to me as I'm preparing to preach the next section in our We Believe series on what we believe here at First Baptist Church, our doctrinal statement within our church's constitution. And the section that we're returning to has to do with the family. And so in this section, we're going to be touching on issues such as marriage, gender, sexuality, divorce, parenting, and it's no it's no news that we live in a culture where there's a lot of movement in what people believe in these various areas, and that's true even among professing believers. In churches, there's been a lot of movement in what people believe about these topics. Um, and I believe it's honestly the strategy of the serpent who in the garden said to Eve, "Did God really say?" And you can fill in the blank with any one of a number of these topics that I just mentioned. Did God really say this about gender? Did God really say this about marriage? Did God really say this about divorce? And so I think the point that John is making here and that we must take to heart, yes, God really did say, and he said it from the beginning. And it is not our business to be changing what God has said. It is our business to understand it, to accept it, to live it, and then to teach it to others. And by no means is it our position to change what God has said from the beginning, even when we feel intense cultural pressure to do so. And we do, right? We're even called prejudiced and bigoted and unloving if we hold to what God has taught from the beginning, when in actuality, to speak the truth in love to someone is the most loving thing that we can do. And so, in my response, I simply said, "Father, please give to me a Holy Spirit empowered backbone that preaches with conviction and with love the things that you have taught from the beginning." So I don't know if there are any areas in your life where you are tempted to compromise with the culture and to fall into the trap of the enemy who says, "Did God really say?" God has spoken. He has spoken from the beginning. He has given to us his unchanging word, and it is not for us to change it. It is for us to surrender our lives to it and then to teach it to others. And so please pray for me this week as I head down this road of teaching this particular section in our church's doctrinal statement. And as I pray for you and the various challenges that you face in our culture in regard to these very sensitive, hot button issues. And so may we be those who speak the truth in love. Hope you have an awesome day. Look forward to joining you again soon.